Hi, I'm Neddie. Last week, my songs Figment and Sharkbite came out. I wanted to do a breakdown of both songs, but then I realized that I literally made Figment in a video, link in the description. So that leaves Sharkbite, which I'll be breaking down today. If you haven't listened to it yet, here's a small preview. But with that out of the way, let's break down Sharkbite. Alright, so let's start with a drop. Alright, so first off, you hear this insane, like, this little yoink thing. So let's take off all the effects. Alright, so without any effects, it sounds like this. Okay, so this is just two saw waves being like FM to each other. And as you can see, this FM is being modulated like this. And then I added some distortion to that, just to make it a little bit fatter. Some hyperdimension for some width, and a compressor just to make it a little bit more crisp and like held together. Then I have like a simple volume LFO thing right here, and that's about it when it comes to serum. Then I added a fat rack just to make it a little bit more coherent. EQ'd out at the low end, added a chorus for some width, a frequency shifter, which I frequency shifted it down like really low, and then a utility to turn it up, a EQ to take out some harsh frequencies and a lot of low end, some simple delay to give it that like decay to it, and then a limiter because it was really loud. Alright, and then we move on to this little growl thing. Alright, so let's take off all the effects. Alright, so there's a lot of effects to unpack here that like that's a lot. Let's just start off from scratch. It sounds like this. So, you know, it sounds pretty bad. So what we have here is we just have a literally just a saw wave again with some hyperdimension for some width, compressor to kind of glue it together. And then we have some like pitch automation. Then we have a fat rack, just to glue it together, an auto filter to give it vowels, a saturator to add some high end back, an OTT to glue it again, and another one for some more high end. Then another auto filter for some more vowel movement, some chorus for some more width, an EQ to take out the low end, an OTT to like bring it up again, a saturator to make it fatter, G clip, which I didn't even know I had, that I just turned way up apparently. Alright, so then we have an EQ to take out some more low end, then an OTT to kind of glue it together again, make it louder, then a saturator to just kind of crunch it up again, and then a utility to like mute it because there were like artifacts, as you can see. So like if I had this off, it would like do this. I didn't want that, so I just muted it right when it was over. And then we have this little like bass in between the yoink. So this little thing, let's take off all the effects. It's pretty simple. This is just a monster wavetable with some bend minus on it and some like with some distortion, hyperdimension, the usual. Then I added a fat rack, an OTT, simple delay to kind of give it that decay. And that sounded really muddy, so I EQ'd it out. And yeah, that's that. And then we have this top layer that just kind of plays through the whole thing. Oh, okay, so it's a square wave that's distorted to hell, and then the detune and the rate are all the way up, the same with the mix. So you get this really weird, like, it's like a Jaws kind of thing. And I added some chorus for some more width, I guess. And a compressor. Then I frequency shifted it up, which gives it that, like, tonality. And then I auto-panned it because... And then I EQ'd out, like, most of the low end. And then a simple delay for some decay. And that's that. And then the second half comes around, then we hear this, which is, I'm pretty sure the exact same thing as the other one, I just like raised it an octave or something. Alright, yeah, so this growl is the exact same as the first one, it's just raised an octave, and then we come around to this little break. I literally looked up someone saying the word shark, and then I frequency shifted it up, and then I got a sample from Splice that said bite. Then we move into this next section. So let's take off all the effects. So this is what this patch sounds like. So first we add an OTT, fat rack, then a flanger to add some like decay to it, then an EQ to take out some of the low end, then a frequency shifter to kind of like shift it around, and I have it on like the square mode right here. So you can already hear exactly what it's doing. Then we have a utility to raise the volume, a simple delay to give it some decay, an EQ to take out some low end and add some high end back, then a limiter, and then an EQ to take out some more high end. And then we come to this little thing. So this is basically just some sound design I did earlier, and then I just slapped it right in. And then underneath we have this little thing, which is, again, just a monster wavetable with some bend on it. Yeah, and just some distortion, compression, whatever, that's it. And then we have this little top thing that just starts playing through, which is just a saw wave with some like weird volume movement going on. Which I frequency shifted it down, and then I added like a fat rack and, you know, the usual. And then that brings us right to the breakdown. Let's go over the intro. So it starts off with this like little piano thing, which I just added some delay to that, like some filtering in. And then we have a little pad underneath. We have some waves. We have some thunder. And then we have like seagulls. Oh, and we have this little thing underneath that plays. And then I just low pass that. And that just kind of plays underneath. And then this little extra section kind of pops in, and it's just this thing. But then frequency shifted it down. And then we just have some more pads kicking in, like some more atmospheres. And then we have this Reese. And then we go into this next section. With this like really huge like brass sound, which is actually just a serum thing. So that's what that sounds like. Just a simple saw wave pretty much with some distortion on it and stuff like that. Then added a fat rack. And then a deep fry rack, which is like the secret sauce to getting it to sound like really brassy. And then a utility to mute it right when that like artifact kicks in. And then a reverb. And then we have this like weird like glitchy texture, which is just like a sample that I have in my library. Same with this one. And then, you know, some build-up drums kick in, and then we go straight into the drop. So this is just the intro. Copied the intro, pretty much. And then we get to this section where there's like a submarine and it's like really creaky and shit. And then we have this little thing. It's just a noise wavetable that I just somehow found. This one. And that sounds exactly like a sonar thing or something. And then I added this little like growly sound right here, which I guess was supposed to emulate like a shark or something, but I just used it as like a background element. So I just added a fat rack and an auto filter and a lot of reverb. Alright, and then we have this like insane like Foley sound right here. So this is basically just a door sound. But it's pitched down like 2 octaves. So I just added some reverb to that to make it sound like really huge. And then underneath all that you have this like rumble, which is like a lion growling or something that I just got from Splice. Underneath that we have this like other underwater sound effect that I got from YouTube, I think. And that just really sells the effect that we're actually underwater. And then eventually these brass hits kick in, which is just your average brass horn sound effects. And that's mostly it for this breakdown section. Then it goes into this build-up. Which is mostly similar to the normal build-up. It just has some filtered in drums. Yeah, that's about it. And then we go into the second drop. Alright, so let's take all these effects off. It's like, again, just 2 saw waves being like FM to each other. I think this is actually like the exact same thing as like the first thing. I just messed with the octaves a little bit to get the sound I wanted. Then I added a fat rack, an EQ to take out some low end, an OTT to glue together. Then I added another EQ to take out some low end and take out some high end as well. Then I added this little peak because I like the resonance of that. I added a frequency shifter to like frequency shift it up. Then a simple delay to give some like decay to it. Then I'm taking out some harsh frequencies right here. Turn the volume way up with a utility. And then I added a limiter because it was really loud. And then we move into the section where we have some lasers going on. So this is again just like super simple. It's literally just a sample that I got from my library. And then I just added some chorus for some width, an EQ to take out the low end, erosion to add some high end. a EQ to take out that like really high frequencies that I just added in, and then a utility to bring up the volume a bit. And then it moves into the same section that we've done before. And then we're in the outro, which just has the same like melody thing. We just pitch down an octave. And just like that, you have Sharkbite. Let me know if you like this video with a comment down below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.